The Biden administration's vaccine mandate for millions of federal workers seems to be working, with no apparent disruption to law enforcement, intelligence gathering, or holiday travel. On Tuesday, one day after the deadline for compliance, 92% of the 3.5 million federal workers covered by Biden's mandate reported to the government that they are at least partially vaccinated, according to White House officials. The highest number of partial vaccinations by Tuesday was at the Agency for International Development, which had 97.8%, followed closely by the Department of Health and Human Services at 96.4% and State Department at 96.1%, according to data provided by the White House Wednesday. Law enforcement agencies do lag behind in vaccines, with the Justice Department at 89.8%. The Department of Veterans Affairs is at 87.8% of partial vaccinations, though the Defense Department was 93.4% and the Homeland Security Department was 88.9%. The government office with the lowest number of partially vaccinated employees was the Agriculture Department, at 86.1%.
But overall, 96.5% of federal employees have been deemed in compliance with the policy, which also includes medical or religious exemptions that are still being evaluated. The rest are considered out of compliance, but officials emphasized that it's not a cliff, and that workers will receive counseling to get vaccinated or file for an exemption. Only then would termination be considered. "We know vaccine requirements work," said White House Assistant Press Secretary Kevin Munoz. "We hope that our implementation sends the clear message to businesses to move forward with similar measures that will protect their workforce, protect their customers, and protect our communities." White House officials said the data was just a snapshot and the numbers would continue to rise in the days and weeks ahead. As they work through additional vaccines and exceptions, there will be no disruptions to government services, the officials said. Since instituting the initial vaccine or test mandate this summer and then the more restrictive requirement without a test-out option this fall, the White House has believed the federal government could serve as a model for the rest of the nation's employers for how vaccinations could help shepherd a quicker return to the normal. White House officials say the most important lesson for businesses from the federal experience is that once they take the first step toward requirements, their workers will follow. The numbers from the Internal Revenue Service show how a mandate can drive up the vaccination rate. About 25% of the agency's workforce first got a shot after Biden announced the mandate in September. Now, 98% are in compliance. Agencies with marginally lower vaccination rates tend to have widely dispersed workforces, making education and counseling about the benefits of vaccines, or even just the task of getting workers to self-report that they've already gotten a shot, more difficult. Several intelligence agencies apparently had at least 20% of their workforce unvaccinated as of late October, said Republican Representative Chris Stewart of Utah, a member of the House Intelligence Committee. Larry Cosme, president of the Federal Law Enforcement Officers Association, said about the same time that there are about 31,000 members from 65 federal law enforcement agencies in the association, and he estimated 60% of them have been vaccinated. A federal corrections officers union in Florida sued over the mandate this past week, saying it was a violation of civil rights. The case is pending. Some of the initial fears about the vaccination status of the federal workforce stemmed from employees without access to government computers to make their vaccination certification. Some, like frontline Transportation Security Administration officers, rarely use a government computer. Others are in the field or simply delayed responding to the survey or beginning vaccination.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe